Burnett Williams is a personal injury law firm that handles and focuses on larger personal injury cases for folks in Virginia. We've been doing it for a little bit better than 35 years now.
We care deeply for our clients and for what has happened to them because it's often a very difficult time in their life and they need some guidance, and we are there for them.
We met Burnett Williams originally through a referral from another law firm, and they were non-competing, and they were actually right next to each other in the same city. And when I first met their founding partners and I met their marketing coordinator, I thought this was going to be a pretty simple conversation because they're personal injury lawyers. It's not a complicated practice area. But when I started talking with them and getting into the depth of their organization, I realized that it's a lot more complicated than I thought. They have 6 offices throughout Virginia, some in the northern parts of Virginia and some in the southern parts. And there's this dichotomy between the northern and southern offices, where the southern offices generally like smaller and simpler cases, whereas the northern offices, they want, larger, more complex cases. So we were faced with this challenge of creating a brand and then making sure that brand supported their very different ideologies around how they practice law. So the appeal to this was very interesting to me because it wasn't simple and it wasn't right out of the box. It was something that we had to build from the ground up. The approach to this kind of challenge was unique, but at the same time, it makes sense. So the demographics and psychographics that are needed to target these very different audiences were unique. We had to identify the emotions people were likely to feel in each of these injury cases. And we had to develop this emotionally engaging message specific to each case, yet still maintain this high level of brand image and continuity that would appeal to all of the audiences, regardless where they were in the state of Virginia and what type of injury they may have sustained.
As you might imagine, in 35 years of operating a business, we've had a number of marketing outfits at least attempt to help us at varying levels of success. We were recommended to CC&A by a large firm that had had significant experience with them, and we were tickled to death with everything we got. They really set themselves apart in terms of both client service and knowledge of marketing.
So to accomplish this and really drive the results that our client was looking for, we had to create this brand based in trust and experience that would supersede everything else in their marketing and advertising messaging. And simultaneously, we had to develop and implement advertising and social media that was geographically specific or geofenced within each of their office locations. And that included very specific things for their website, their SEO campaign, obviously their social media. We also had to create pay-per-click advertising that was around specific radiuses within each of their offices in the cities that they practiced. And we did a fair amount of video production, making sure that that idea of trust and experiences was relayed in the proper way, and the emotions were relayed in the proper way to really drive the interest of their potential clients. And you know what? The approach worked. We were able to create a distinct message for each demographic and case type. And the results were lead generation specific to each one of their offices. Their online visibility is not only increasing, but it's increasing and accelerating simultaneously. And their social media has been extremely well received by both their client base and their lawyers, and it's helped to amplify each and every one of their lead generation tactics, and the firm is growing. And ultimately, that's what we want to see. Every client of ours should grow, especially the ones that are so involved with us at this level.
It's rare to hire a consultant and not worry about what you're paying. And in the case of CC&A, we don't care what we're paying because 1, they charge very reasonable prices for the talent they provide, and 2, we see results that we really like.